Welcome back, guys, to part 2 on how to list your product on Amazon. We're about to jump right in from where we left off on part 1, and we're going to get into how to structure your offer, and then we're going to get into how to set up your images for Amazon listings. Now, it's very important to know that there are specific image requirements. There are some important things that you have to do for your offer to make sure that you're going to be competitive. Okay, let's get started with structuring your offer. So once we click the offer tab above, we're going to be greeted with this screen right here, which is going to ask you your seller SKU. A SKU is a stock keeping unit. It's really just for you to keep track of your inventory. So that way, you know, whatever you type in here, okay, that's that specific product. That's that iPhone SE case. So what I usually type in is the name of the product. So it's an iPhone SE case. You can separate them with dashes or hyphens, whatever you want to do. It really doesn't matter. Again, this is entirely for you to keep track of everything. Since I'm only selling one iPhone SE case, I'm just going to leave it in here. And then previously in the variations tab, we didn't fill it out, but you could also add the seller SKU for those specific variations. So if this was for that variation, I might just add another one there and type in blue or type in yellow. But this is for the parent one. Okay, next is the standard price. So this is the price that you are going to charge customers to buy your product. And it's very simple. You just type in whatever you think is competitive. You can change this on the fly. So if you want to come back here in a couple weeks, once you see that maybe you're not getting many sales, you can come back in and decrease your amount. So for this product, I'm going to do $5.99. It's a very cheap product. Doesn't cost a whole lot. Next is the item condition. Are you selling this new or is it used? Make sure to identify that. And remember, these locks mean that these cannot be changed after you click save and finish at the very end. So make sure you're set on these. That's going to be new condition. You're set on the SKU. And then as I mentioned, the price can be changed after. Okay, and then the fulfillment channel. You have to ask yourself the question, are you going to fulfill these items yourself? Meaning, are you going to ship each product that you sell to those customers, or do you want Amazon to do that for you for a small fee? I'm going to assume that we're just going to start out with the merchant fulfilled, assuming that you're going to sell and ship these yourself. I have a wide array of videos on my channel that teaches you how to use the FBA side of the business, and I recommend doing it once you've established a good product that you're going to sell. That way you can eliminate yourself as the middleman and let Amazon ship all the products to your customers. So once you click that, Amazon's going to ask you for your shipping options. It's already going to be set on the standard US domestic shipping, which is 4 to 14 days. If you're going to be shipping these yourselves, make sure that you do have a competitive shipping option, because imagine you as the customer, you go to your product listing page and you see that you won't get it between 4 to 14 days. It's a lot of uncertainty there. I recommend at least doing the standard US domestic plus, which is 3 to 5 days. That gives you enough time to get to the US Postal Office, to get the product out there and to ship to the potential customer. And if you can do these quicker options, definitely go ahead and do so. It definitely works to your advantage. Okay, guys, so that's really it for the basic settings. Now I want to take you into a more advanced look, which is this upper right-hand button called Advanced View. This isn't just for Amazon professional accounts. This is not just for those expert sellers that know the advanced things to do. All this does, honestly, it just brings up more features. So once you click that, you can see that there are a sales price now, a sale start date, sale end date, their quantity. There's also some additional inputs. You don't have to fill out all of these, only the ones that have the asterisk next to it right here. And that's all that we filled out so far. So we don't have to fill in any of these, but I do recommend going ahead and doing that. One thing that you can consider if you want to have a sale going, maybe a launch sale, you sell your product for slightly less. And I think we'll go ahead and do that. We'll do $5.95. It's only a nickel less than the standard price, but it also is a lot more appealing to a customer when they see that something is on sale for a short duration. So let's say we're going to launch this product on the 10th, and we want the sale to only be that weekend. So you can do that. And you can always come back in here. You can have new sales, and you can add in that information. There are some other inputs here. I'll let you add that if you want. There isn't really anything critical that I need to cover, just optional stuff. Like if gift wrapping is an available option, you just have to go ahead in there. The last thing I do want to fill in here is the quantity. This is the number of total units that you have available to sell. For this, we're just going to assume that we have a small amount, so we'll put 25 in there. It's really up to you, whatever you want to put in there. Okay, now as you can see at the top here, before we get into adding our images, there are some more tabs now for compliance, keywords, and more details, description. We'll get to that in a little bit in the tutorial, but for now I just want to cover the images. So we'll click the Images tab, and here's where you're seeing all the images for your product listing. The image guidelines are very specific to Amazon, and they have a lot of requirements. I'll show you here in a second of all those guidelines, but the main thing you want to make sure you do is make sure that you're able and capable of taking pictures of your product, at least the first image, with a clear white background. So if you've ever been on Amazon, you're scrolling through, you notice that that first image always has a clear white background, and that is one of the most critical elements in adding images on Amazon. To see all the Amazon image guidelines, and I do recommend reading through this list, go to the See Image Guidelines and click that, and it will drop down some more information. And as I mentioned before, that main image, which is your first image, must have a pure white background. It also must fill up at least 85% of the image, and then there's also some requirements on the quality of those images in the format here. Do not worry if you aren't a professional photographer or you don't have an expensive camera. You can do this all with your iPhone or your Android smartphone. And so what you need to do is watch a video that I made. I'll put it in the cards right now, and it will show you exactly how you can do that with your phone. Also with some editing software if you want to give your product listing a little bit more of a professional look. Check out that video and then come right back here, all right? Now, after you watch that video and you understand how to take those pictures, how to edit them so you have that pure white background, you'll have to upload those images. So this first one is your main image. That is the first image that a customer is going to see. So click upload, and then you want to go ahead and you want to find those images. So that first image, again, it has to have that white background. Double click it and you'll see it upload, and then in a second it's going to pop up. As you can see on this picture, it shows the iPhone case in the iPhone. There aren't any branded marks on it, so I don't have the Apple logo. So if you have anything that's similar, like an accessory like my case, make sure that you're not showing anything that has a brand or a trademark on it. You could potentially get your listing deactivated for doing so. So then you go ahead and add as many pictures as you want that you're allowed to here. So add a couple more. You can do this fairly quickly. There we go. Now we have 3 pictures there. I did choose to keep the white background consistent across all these images. However, you only need to do it for the first image. The second, third, fourth, and so on can actually have a different colored background, which I'll show you here. So see how there's a different background. I also have text you can add there too. All right, that is it for the images. It's pretty self-explanatory. The hardest part is really going ahead, watching that video, understanding exactly the guidelines and how to use your cell phone or your camera to take those pictures to give it that professional look. And moving on here, we're going to cover the last few remaining tabs just to give your listing that professional look, and that way it's not just some unattractive listing. If you go ahead and you click the advanced view at the upper right hand corner, you'll see some of those tabs disappear, and at this point, if we really wanted to, we could click save and finish, and that listing would be live once it's approved by Amazon. But I want to make sure that you have all the tools that you need and your description does look professional so you can convert more sales. So we'll go back and we'll click advanced view. And what I want to cover now is the compliance tab. As you can see here, there really isn't anything that is required for my specific product. Now this is generated based on your product and the product category that you're selling in. So if you're selling an electronic, you are going to have some compliance things that you need to fill out here, because more than likely there's going to be a battery that's in there, and that's considered a hazard substance, right? So if you do have something that you are required to fill out, go in there to the best of your ability, input all the stuff about that battery if it's that electronic or whatever it may be. You have to fill that out. Now for something that is an iPhone SE case, I'm not going to have anything that I need to fill out. So that's just one thing to really be aware of before you go to the next tab. Okay, and then we're going to go to the last 3 tabs here, and that is your description, keywords, and more details. The description, which I'm showing here now, is just some additional information that you can provide on your product. What we want to go ahead and do is we want to add in all the necessary information that someone may be curious about. So for this, they may be curious about, all right, what type of phone is this compatible with? So I put that very clearly in here that it's compatible with the iPhone SE 2020 version, iPhone 8, iPhone 7, and then I go into some more detail about the specific screen size, just so there's no miscommunication. I also add the color, it's a transparent case, the thickness of that so people have an idea how much it sticks out above the iPhone, and then also the material, the plastic, and then if one of these features like wireless charging is supported or not supported. Okay, this really isn't as important as the bullet points, which we're about to get into now. And I say that because the description is usually in the middle to the end of the product listing page, especially if you're on your iPhone looking at, which the majority of people usually are when they're making purchases, you have to scroll down a good bit just to look at the description. Now, what people really care about is the bullet points, and I'm sure you can relate to this, right? And that's these bullets right here, which are right next to your product images, or they're right below the product images on an iPhone or an Android. What you need to do is you really need to hit all the selling points of your product. Anything that makes that product unique, anything that makes your product stand out from your competitors, this is your area to sell that to those potential customers. So go ahead, think about that. I'm going to go copy and paste these just from my previous listing so you guys get the idea. And so I focus really on the compatibility. So that's really the biggest thing. If I'm going to buy this iPhone case, I want to know it's compatible. I want to know that there's quality protection. If I drop my iPhone, I want to know that this phone case is going to protect it, right? And then some other things I have is just, again, the wireless charging feature. It's easy to slip on and off, and then also has a slim design, yet durable, right? So go ahead, add all your bullet points in there. You can add up to 5 bullet points. I recommend using all 5 if you have 5 unique features, 5 selling points that you want to get across to your customer. And then lastly is the CPSI warning, which is really anything around choking hazard for small items. This is pretty difficult to choke on, but again, protect yourself. If there's any possibility of any piece of your product, the packaging, whatever it may be, if someone could potentially choke on that, make sure you identify that here. But for me, since it's large enough, it's almost 5 inches, I'm just going to put no warning applicable. If you have more than one, you can add more there too. Okay, and then jumping on to the keywords. Keywords are your search terms. Very simple. They are what you type in to find this type of product. Be very careful about what you put in here and make sure that you're not putting trademarked brands within here. So I don't want to go ahead and put iPhone because unfortunately you can get your listing deactivated by putting trademark brands in here. Think of it as if you want to sell Bose headphones. Say you're selling some knockoff brand, but they look just like the Bose headphones. If you type in Bose here, that's a trademark brand, and someone types in Bose on Amazon and your listing comes up, it's not fair for that brand owner that you're also popping up using their brand name. So let's go ahead in here and type in phone cases. Make sure that we put a comma between them just to separate them, or else you're just going to be searching that one long string. So put that comma between them, phone cases. If you want to do just phone cases as in one search term, do that. And also I like to put the color transparent. And let's type in plastic, slim design, and really anything that you see fitting to your product. You can add a good amount of search terms in here. I believe you're capped, but it's a good amount of search terms that you can add in there. If you need some help identifying those keywords, a good place to start is to go to Jungle Scout. You can find it on there, or even just go to Amazon, and I'll show you here. If you just type in phone cases, that gives you an idea right here, a list, probably from the most popular search term to the least popular, what people are typing. So people are typing in phone cases for iPhone 11, phone cases for iPhone SE. So that would be a good one to put in there. I am going to avoid putting iPhone or Apple in there just because, again, it's a trademark brand. I'm trying to avoid that. All right, the last tab here is your More Details tab. There's a lot of information that you can put in here. So if something looks fitting to you and something that you see value in, you can definitely go ahead and add that in here. Like the item dimensions, that may be something that someone's curious about, and that would be something that I probably want to add in here. So you can put in your unit of measurement, and it was 1 centimeter thick. So add that, and then it's also, might ask you again the thickness of the item. I just said that, it was 1 centimeter. And just go in, fill in some of these. If you don't understand what it means, it's probably not applicable to your product. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I can make sure to help you. All right, and that is it. So go down below here where it says Save and Finish, and once you click that, your listing is now going to go to Amazon for approval. It usually takes between 15 to 30 minutes for them to approve it. Sometimes it can take up to 24 hours. They're really inconsistent of that number. But just be patient, allow them to approve it, and then at that point, you can begin selling products. I do want to mention one last thing before I get to our conclusion here. If you have any red exclamation points on any of these tabs, it's not going to allow you to click Save and Finish. So if you came down here and this is still grayed out and you can't click Save and Finish, head back up to the top, find that red exclamation point, click whatever tab that may be, and then that required input is going to be highlighted in red. And I can actually just show you guys what that looks like. So here, And we'll go down here and see the save and finish. I can't click it, it's grayed out. I come to the top, I see that there's a red exclamation point next to offer, and then immediately the standard price, which is required, is highlighted in red. So it's simple as that. Once your listing has been approved, you'll see a similar listing page as this, obviously for your product and not mine, but it looks pretty clean, right? You have all these different images that I added here, and then you also have the bullets here, some descriptive information, and if we scroll down, we'll find the product description right here, and that's really the last bit of information. Lastly, if you have any questions or comments, go down below and leave a comment on this video. I'll do my best to reply to that. And if you need additional support, help creating your listing, help starting your Amazon e-commerce store, I can help you one-on-one by joining our Patreon group. Again, you'll also gain much more access to many different features and ad-free videos and so forth. So go ahead, check those out. I'm here for you guys, and I wish you the best of luck selling on Amazon.